Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Monday, guys. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Monday, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Also, big shots out to my Virgos. Virgos, what it do, baby? It's our season. Virgo Nation, stand up. All right, guys. So I want to talk to you all. I told you guys that I would be meeting with the gentlemen this past weekend, and you guys submitted your questions or your advice, I should say, that you wanted me to give to the men because they gave us theirs. So I have that here. Really quickly, to the young lady who emailed me in regards to, you feel like this person is running from you. She said, she's just to summarize, you're dating this guy, you guys met, been hanging out for like 5 months, inseparable. However, you feel like he is running from you. He's starting to run from you. He's been traumatized. He's been hurt in his past. You're trying to, I guess, make him see that you're not his ex, and you just feel like he's just ghosted you, and you are really in your feelings about it, and you just don't know what to do. I'm going to reply to you more in detail, but I just want to say this really quickly. Just in case someone else may have been going through this. Well, here's the thing. A lot of times when people are traumatized, like they really had their heart broken, many times people really don't sit through that proper single season or isolation season, which allow guys to really, really heal their heart, right? So not only do they have the trauma from the heartbreak, many times too, it's trauma just from life. It's trauma from childhood wounds, things like that. And then that trauma that happened with the heartbreak, it adds. So now you have trauma on top of trauma, right? And so now, because people don't like to, and this is not everybody, of course, but most people don't like to sit in a single season, what do? They go and they just start dating other people right away, or they may find something else to overcompensate with it, right? That can be alcohol, drugs, weed, porn, sweets, whatever, right? So you overcompensate, and you have your mind made up like, hey, I'm never going to fall in love again. I'm never going to open my heart up again. I'm never going to be vulnerable again, and all this stuff. And then boom, God has a different story, right? Two spirits collide. You meet your kingdom purpose partner, whatever you deem the term to be. And now it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Where are these feelings coming from? Right? I said I would never fall in love again. So now they start to ghost you. Typically, I think you said 5 months. So a lot of the times, not all, women we get that emotional rush at the very beginning, right? You're like the butterflies and all this stuff like that. I think with some men, it tends to come when they've really been around you, right? And they've really started to settle into you. They're really starting to see your spirit, especially great because y'all haven't been intimate. So now he's really seeing you for who you are. And now it's almost like, wow, she's amazing. Obviously, he's with you 5 months, inseparable, no intimacy. But all of a sudden now, it's like, I think you say he did tell you that he's getting too close to you. So he actually told you that, right? And you're having a hard time trying to understand or comprehend why. It doesn't make sense. If you're getting close to me, then you should be pulling in closer. Well, it just depends. But from the type of trauma, that heartbreak that you said he experienced from that divorce, then if he haven't healed, he's going to run. And again, this is not for everybody. The problem with us, especially my women, we want to fix. We are fixers. We're nurturers. So we want to coddle. We want to prove to you that, hey, I'm not that soulless chick, right? Hey, the Lord sent me, right? You chose wrong. You chose just on beauty alone, and I'm different. But that's just words. That's what we're saying. Well, remember, the person before you may have said the same thing and then turned around and hurt them or whatever the case may be. But sis, the honest to God truth, well, for my opinion, I should say, my opinion, and you're not going to want to hear this, let him run. If he's running, you're going to have to let him run. God will clip him up. You can't clip him up. God will clip him up in God's due timing. God will send him back to processing or whatever. God have to deal with people on their own accord. We got to get up out of the way. We be too busy trying to fix people and fix this. And in the meantime, we're slacking on our own end, right? We need to take that energy and invest it in ourselves, right? Work on our own healing process, continuous healing process, right? Investing in self. Then that way, in due time, if it's meant, it'll come back. But the more and more you chase something, the more it will get away from you. It will run from you. We got to just learn to step back, let God do what God do. Because anything that's meant, if it's meant from God, listen, it is what it is. It's already written, period, right? So I know your little heart and your beautiful emotions are all over the place. But just understand that I think too, a lot of times people tend to think it's about them. You're comparing, you're feeling like, well, he's running because he don't want me. He's running because he met someone else, right? And you're thinking it's about you. Most times it's not even about you. It's about them. It's about what they feel. So guess what? Even if he runs to somebody else, it's because that person doesn't make him feel vulnerable, right? Because spiritual connections are different. So he can go meet another pretty girl. It doesn't matter. But physically, you'll be sitting here trying to compare yourself with he's with her because she's pretty and I'm ugly. And it has nothing to do with that. It's just that he don't have that same type of connection. That might just be solely physical. That might just be solely burning time, trying to overcompensate, to run away from that raw feeling. See, that raw feeling is scary. So when you're connected to somebody spiritually, they see through your soul. Right? That requires you to be vulnerable. You fall even when you don't want to fall. So it's easier to be with someone else who you don't have that kind of connection with. But you got to understand that that's not in comparison to anything about yourself. If anything, that should make you realize like you're the prize. You're the prize. If you got to run from me, I'm the prize, period. You know what I mean? So, all right. But I will email you a little bit more back in detail. Next thing. All right. So guys, you ladies, you submitted your tips that you wanted me to give the men in the Zoom section. Now, I must say, ladies, they listened. I think men do typically listen. It's just that when it's something they want to hear, right? If we're just talking just from our own little emotions or whatever we got going on, I think then they tune us out, or we're nagging, they can tune us out. But I think when you learn how to grasp men's attention in a certain way, right? Because they don't really listen unless it's about the game, dinner, and dessert. No pun intended, right? But in this case, they listen. And they give some feedback too. All right, so first thing, I'm going to read you guys what you guys asked me to submit to them. All right, men, if you're listening, you have your notepad. Because we listened to you and we took notes. I know I did. All right, so number one. I made this number one for a reason. Because I didn't ask you guys to number them. But I made this number one for a reason. Just the same way I made for them, number one, the importance of respect. The importance of respect for them. All right, but number one for us, emotional fulfillment is what turned us on. Emotional fulfillment is what turned us on. So when you're not tapping into our emotions and we don't feel emotionally fulfilled, then we're tapped out. So we're turned off. So a lot of times when you feel like your woman is turning her back to you in the bed and she just don't want to be bothered or she's not in the mood, many times it's because you are not tapping into our emotions and you've shut us down with something we're trying to express. All right, that's number one. I had to really, I had to really sit there for a while. What I found very intriguing was that they wanted to know more about this because they said they've heard this a lot from women. And they were more or less how, but I don't understand, right? Okay, if you're crying, we just wipe your eyes. Is that tapping into your emotions? That's sympathizing, right? And thank you for wiping our tears. But tapping into our emotions mean whatever like we're saying, whatever we're expressing to you, let's just say, I don't know, I'm overwhelmed and I'm just tired and the kids are acting crazy and I just feel like I'm doing only one doing the housework, and you're trying to sit me down to understand, okay, how can I help you? What can I do to take the load off of you, right? You say you feel this way, but how can I help you? And you're tapping into our emotion. You're paying attention, basically. You're paying attention, and then you're really trying. And 10 out of 10 times, you don't want to do it, but at least you're trying, right? So if we're going through things in general, if we're going through things and we express to you versus just telling us we talk too much or we're nagging or we're complaining, try to really understand what it is, what we're going through, and help us to work through that thing so that heaviness can come up off of us. Number 2, listen, sis, when you sent this, I was like, oh, they're going to hear this. Okay, your weight matters too, right? Your weight matters too, because you hear some of these men on YouTube and stuff like that talking about women, I guess, who like let their body go and they're gaining weight and all this stuff like that. And some of these men who say this look like Al Bundy. You can't. Listen, it's one thing if you're in the gym or whatever, or you're taking care of your body, and now you're putting these demands on your woman. Hey, I want you to really be active. I want you. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's amazing. I think it's a wonderful thing to be a healthy, active couple. But how are you putting demands on your woman, and you are around here looking like Al Bundy with your belly over your belt, and that's unfair. So I don't know where the misconception is that only men are visual. I mean, women, I was about to say we're wise enough, but that's not nice. But we know how to look for things more important than just the physical. But at the same time, we need y'all to be looking good too. We're not blind here. So y'all weight matters too. All right. Number 3, I think, since I still jot yours down, it was similar to the first one as far as the emotional fulfillment, and that is listen, and you put like 1,000 exclamation marks behind that. Listen. Could you listen more, sir? Stop shutting us down and be more open, understanding. All right, so that's pretty much similar to my first sis tip. But seriously, guys, truly, we get it. We get it. We know we talk in circles. We get it. But we know y'all made it clear. You want us to get to the point. We get it. But could y'all just try to listen more too, though? Because I'm telling you, if it's not about what's for dinner, if it's not about the game coming on, and if it's not about, y'all don't listen to anything else. That's all you want to talk about, right? So, but I'm so glad that they did well and they listened in the session this past weekend. All right, next thing. Sis, listen, you hit this, and I mean, their little feathers were ruffled here, but it is what it is. I say, well, my good sis says this, and I agree with her, and that is, we get bored too when it comes to intimacy. So all this, y'all don't want to prove, quote unquote, you don't want to prove. That's what they said, right? And cool, right? All prudes move out the way. They don't want to prove. But at the same time, there's this misconception that only men want something new. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. I think we all need to be, men and women need to be content with what they have. But the point I'm making is, women are speaking up now, obviously. Obviously, because my good sis says she needs her man. Well, she's married. She needs her, she's not telling her husband this, but she's trying to make a point here that she gets bored too, and he needs to Since I ain't saying all that. But he needs to step it up in the bedroom because women do get bored and would like different things as well. So it's just not you guys who like to see eye candy and feel like you want something different. The woman says they want something different too, but they just tend to be more content and not cheating. That's what she said. Woo, honey, their feathers were ruffled. But it is what it is. Next thing. Actually, this is part 2 of your question, sis, the one I just got off. Churchy, holy folks, can you cover your ears right quick? Churchy, holy folks, can you cover your ears just for one quick second? My good sis says, please be sure that she's satisfied as well. Meaning, you just don't satisfy yourself, right? Just don't satisfy yourself and start snoring. Please make sure she and the woman is satisfied as well, even if you have to ask, because you just can't assume and go to sleep. Okay, that's what she wants y'all to know. Churchy, holy folks, uncover your ear. All right, next thing, support our endeavors. If that means even keeping the children, she says. This, my good sis says. So basically, she has 3 children, all under the age of 5, sis. Woo. And there's things that she wants to do that requires her husband to kind of step in to maybe take care of the kids or take care of some houseworks while she's working on her new business online, but he's not stepping in. It's almost like she has to keep getting up, getting the kids, and he's not supporting her. So the same way, guys, that you guys like to get to have us support you, right? Because I really do believe like a woman should really be like her dude's number one cheerleader, seriously. But at the same time, a man should be his woman's number one cheerleader. So support your woman, guys. Next thing, yes, honey, date nights, keep it fresh, date nights. How often? I guess that really depends on how busy everyone is, right? But just don't let it get stale, right? Date nights. And then try not to talk about business or talk about even children or talk about like family at date night. Like this, that's the time I think that it's important to reconnect or keep connected with one another, just one another. So date nights, keep it sexy. Next things, we are not your ex. We did not hurt you, so stop being jealous and insecure. All right, sis. I hear you, sis. Yeah, I agree. Again, that can go both ways, but you know, we're trying to stick here with the women. Yeah, because typically, well, anybody when we get hurt, it really really hurts, right? It's trauma. But I think a lot of times with men, it like if they really 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 experience that heartbreak from the one who they deem to be the one, it can really traumatize them. And it's hard to really to get men to open up to love again when they've really, really been hurt by someone. I think women are, and this is just my opinion, but I think women are more, we'll kind of trust again over time and we'll move on again and we'll become vulnerable again. But I think we do it more easier than men. I guess because men are just, they're built a certain way maybe. So yeah, so if your ex hurt you, sir, there's a good chance that you probably chose just on physical alone or, you know, visual alone, who knows? And then you ended up with the wrong chick. She was soulless. Now she hurt you, and now we got to pay for it. Now I can't go to Walmart for 5 minutes without you calling my phone asking me what I'm doing. Sir, I'm in the line at Walmart with your neck bones in my hands. Kizzy, it's Monday. Let's go. All right, next. So yeah, please stop being insecure about what your ex did. We are not your ex. Give us a fair chance. I agree there, sis. I agree. Well, a couple of y'all sent a few of the same things in, but I still want to be fair to. All right, so keep up with yourself and stop looking like truck. Keep up with yourself and stop looking like truck drivers when you don't even drive trucks. You know what? You know, they actually laugh at that one too. And one in there was a truck driver. He was honest enough to say that because he's been driving truck for 20 years, like even when he's not driving and he's really home with his family, he still is like in that truck driver mode. He's like, he don't even get his haircut anymore. Like his beard is like, woofing, and he just looked like a hot mess. And I was like, and see, that's the whole point. We need y'all to clean it up and then look nice too. The same way y'all like us, to look a certain way because y'all are visual. We are not blind here, sir. Al Bundy, get it together. All right. Next thing. Help with the kids more. I said that earlier from another sis about her business adventures, but in general here, you said help with the kids and housework more. I think a lot of women, I don't have children, but I hear a lot of women really, really complain about this. So now I do know a couple of guys personally, like they get in there and really really take care of the babies. I've seen this with my physical eyes. I think it's very beautiful too. But yeah, so guys, the ones of you who are slacking with helping out with the children and the housework, get it together, sir. They said help. They're not asking you to do it all. Help, especially if she's working too. All right, next thing. Do what? Do exactly what you... Oh, yeah. Do exactly to us what you did to get us, meaning keeping it spicy, date nights or whatever. So whatever you were doing, what were you doing? Giving us roses? What were you doing to get us? Could you please keep it up? Be intentional about it, right? Stop slacking. So the same way you put that effort in to get us, please keep that effort, keep that energy. Keep the same energy, sir. Next thing. Churchy, holy folks. Churchy, holy folks. Can you cover your ear one more time, please? Okay. Men, my good sis says, get your foreplay game up. Get your foreplay game up. They think that foreplay has just disappeared out of the world. Whatever happened to foreplay, she wants to know because she's sick of you. She said that. And she's married. She's married. And she says she is in her feelings because foreplay have disappeared from the earth. Okay, sis, I told them. All right, next one. Oh, girl. I should have had this at number one, right? Well, no, emotional fulfillment turns us on. It's still number one. But number two, communicate. Lord Jesus Christ, could you communicate properly, please? And we know that it's not easy. We know that with some of you guys, it's not natural because you were told not to show emotions. You were told not to express yourselves in childhood, right? But the same way we get on y'all nerves with nagging, it's equivalent to you guys not communicating properly. It's the same intense mode. And guess what? We have to be intentional about not nagging. So it's important to be intentional about communicating more effectively. Not telling them nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. What's on your mind? Nothing. Well, why are you acting like that? I'm good. Could you just tell me what I did? You good? Sir, can we have a meeting in the minds? No, I'm good. Communicate. It is the most frustrating thing. And then they're so quick to say, women want you to figure out and we can't read your mind. Well, sir, we can't read your mind either, sir. Can you tell me what's on? I'm good. All right. So why are you sleeping downstairs? I'm good. Well, stay good then. Don't come up here 3 o'clock in the morning. Woo! All right, next thing. Listen to understand. I think I said that earlier too when but y'all see, do y'all see a pattern here? A lot of the tips are pretty much the same. It's really based more. See, we're not as difficult as men think. Look, everything is pretty much based around almost like the same things. Listen to understand, meaning even if you're listening, right? You're not a woman, so we know you won't get it the way we get it, right? But versus calling us too sensitive and too emotional, at least try to understand why you hurt our feelings. We know men are logical, men are just straight shooters, right? Y'all just give it to us raw, but can you just try to understand why our feelings are hurt? Lord have mercy. Like, for example, what's like one of the most popular things where you ask a man, do I look fat in this dress? And he says, yeah. And then it's almost like when the woman gets upset, he's like, well, why did you ask me? Well, sir, can you just like lie? Why would you tell me I look fat in the dress, even if I asked? And I can hear the men now, like, you asked me. But could you listen to understand? Understanding will tell you, well, she wants me to answer her, but if I say yes, it's going to hurt her feelings. Maybe we are difficult, ladies. All right, next thing. I agree here. Allow us to help you more. We get it, men. You're providers. We get it. We love that about you, right? But if we're willing and wanting to help, please don't see that in whatever way, right? Don't see that as we're trying to emasculate you. We just want to be the neck. Can we help? Can you ask for our advice, our opinion sometimes? Next thing. My good sis here says to protect her more. For example, allowing your mom to overstep her boundaries. Okay, so to protect more, I guess in the sense of stand up for ladies more. That can be if your mother is just being petty about my good sis cooking, the way she's raising the children, or whoever, mothers or whoever. If you see somebody downing your woman, or step up, please, and be more protective of our good sis. I think the last thing here is more compliments. More compliments on how beautiful we are. Okay, so more compliments. Of course, we do know women like to be complimented. And I actually said this with the men as well. They told us that they want compliments as well. So I do think it's important for everyone to be complimenting each other. I think even more important is to be healed enough to order to receive it. Because if somebody's telling you that 30 times a day, if you really don't believe it because you're not healed to receive it, they can tell you 100 times and it's just going to go out one ear and go out the other. So you got to get yourself to a point that if your person forgot to tell you that you're beautiful today, you still know you are. Versus, oh, he didn't tell me I'm beautiful, so maybe he thought I was ugly this morning. So, but yes, I do think I agree with you, sis, there. Compliments. So again, this just goes to show, I think for the most part, everything was kind of really just geared around a few different topics. So ladies, I gave them your tips and we have theirs. So there you have it. You guys have a great one.